Reading response charts are an excellent strategy to aid in reading comprehension for all students, including English learners. In reading response charts, students can write down what they are reading and then what their responses are to it so that they can make personal connections. For example, one type of reading response chart that's commonly used is a T-chart. Students can just do this on lined paper that they have on their own, or you can give them a T-chart that they can use for this. For this one I did Laura Ingalls Wilder's book, Little House on the Prairie. On the left-hand side, the students will put down their page, the page number and a quote, and then on the right-hand side, they will put their response to it. Some examples of reading response journals that students can put into this are on page 79, it says Laura heard Pa singing. A response that a student can make to this is, my dad sings too, and I enjoy this, and I can make a connection to Laura in this. On page 151, it says the word stout. If a student was unfamiliar with what the word stout meant, then they could write this down on the page number and the quote, and then they could write next to it, what does this word mean, as their response, and then they'd be encouraged to go to a dictionary or ask a friend to find out what stout meant or to use it in context. On page 251, it says they could never thank him enough. Students could take information in bits and pieces from the story, and they could make connections and, for example, say that Mr. Edwards helped the Wilders in a time of great need. Other types of reading response charts can be more or less appropriate depending on the student's reading level or on their grade level. For a lower elementary class, an appropriate reading response journal could be something like this. In this, then, students are able to write a simple sentence and draw a picture of what they have been reading, which is an excellent strategy for English learners to demonstrate their understanding of what they are reading. For an upper elementary classroom, maybe a more appropriate reading response journal would be something like this, in which students can write down what they are reading, how they felt about it, thinking about their favorite character and what happened to them, what they would do if they were affected in the same way as their character, and they can write down any questions that they have about what they're reading. This provides a non-threatening way for students to write down and record things that have stood out to them in their reading and to make personal connections.